Do you ever find yourself agreeing to things you really don't want to do? Like agreeing to bake 200 cupcakes for your kid's school event, even though your oven's on strike. Or helping your friend move on the weekend when you know they own a piano. Why do we do this? Why do we keep saying yes when every cell in our body is screaming no? Here's a fun fact. Saying yes all the time is like being a buffet. Everyone takes what they need, and at the end of the day, you're empty and exhausted. But saying no is like having an exclusive menu. People only get what you choose to serve. Sounds good, right? Let's dive into how saying no can actually save your sanity and protect your mental energy. Okay, quick quiz. How many of these sound like you? 1. You agree to plans even when you're already tired. 2. You say yes at work even though your to-do list looks like a CVS receipt. 3. You take on family responsibilities that no one even asked you to do. If you said yes to any of these, well, there's your answer. You're stuck in the people-pleasing trap. Don't worry, you're not alone. Saying yes feels safe. You avoid conflict, you make people happy, and let's be real, it's just easier sometimes. But here's the problem. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying no to yourself. And you, my friend, deserve better than that. Imagine this. You're at work, and your boss says, "Hey, can you stay late tonight and finish that report?" You know you're already behind on personal stuff, but what do you say? Sure, no problem. Fast forward to later that night. You're sitting at your desk, eating a sad vending machine sandwich, wondering where it all went wrong. Meanwhile, your boss is at home binge-watching their favorite show. Does this sound familiar? Saying yes all the time feels good in the moment, but it adds up like interest on a credit card. Eventually, you'll max out. Let's talk about why saying no feels like trying to lift Thor's hammer. Spoiler, it's not because you're weak. It's because society has trained us to think that saying no is rude, selfish, or lazy. But here's the truth bomb. Saying no is necessary. Think about it. If your phone is at 1% battery, do you say yes to 10 more apps running in the background? No. You shut everything down and charge it. So why don't we do the same with our mental energy? Quick question. Have you ever said no and immediately felt guilty? Why? Who made us believe that prioritizing ourselves is a bad thing? Let's rewrite that story today. Here's what happens when you start saying no. You create space for what truly matters. Saying no isn't about rejection. It's about selection. For example, when you say no to extra work, you're saying yes to your sanity. When you say no to toxic relationships, you're saying yes to peace. When you say no to that third Zoom meeting, you're saying yes to Netflix and snack. Okay, let's get nerdy for a second. Here's why saying no works wonders for your mental health. When you say yes to everything, your brain stays in constant overdrive. You're releasing stress hormones like cortisol, which makes you feel anxious, tired, and overwhelmed. But when you say no, your brain gets a break. You're telling your mind, hey, it's okay to relax. Your stress levels drop, your focus improves, and you start feeling more in control. It's like cleaning out your closet. You get rid of what doesn't fit, and suddenly you have space for things that do. All right, time for some rapid-fire Q&A. What if someone gets mad when I say no? Then they weren't respecting your boundaries in the first place. That's a them problem, not a you problem. How do I say no without sounding rude? Try this. I'd love to help, but I can't commit right now. Polite, clear, and guilt-free. What if I feel bad saying no? Think of it this way. Saying yes to something you don't want to do is like lending your car to someone who doesn't know how to drive. Protect your energy, my friend. Saying no isn't about being mean or selfish. It's about honoring yourself. It's about saying, my time, my energy, and my mental health are valuable, and I won't waste them on things that don't matter. So, the next time you're tempted to say yes out of habit, pause. Take a deep breath. And remember, you have the power to choose. Let's start a revolution of no's, people. Because every no to something unimportant is a yes to something extraordinary, your peace, your joy, your life. Now, go forth and say no, like the boss you are. Your brain will thank you later. This campaign on Let's Talk About Mental Health is an initiative by UDRC, Urban and Development Resource Center, dedicated to spreading awareness, reducing stigma, and offering support for mental health. Together, we can create a world where mental health is cared for, understood, and supported.